Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bullhucker podcast. I'm Moose Lundstrom.
I'm Jerry Cage.
What's up, Jerry Cage?
What's happening, buddy?
No, it's been a while, man.
I'm surprised you called me.
I'm surprised too. You're my last choice. So there was like a list of 15 people. I'm like, fuck, yes, it is Jerry Cage again.
You're like, no.
I missed a couple of weeks, man. I've been having a hard time lately getting this going again, but we'll get back on.
Well, we need to announce. We need some people to come join. Join us.
Yeah, if you got some stories, man, let me know, man.
He's not that intimidating.
I'm not that intimidating at all, man. And Jerry's he's Jerry, so you don't.
Yeah.
I got a dog collar on him somewhere, so you can fucking just press the button.
A little shot.
You know, you're not in trouble though. As a matter of fact, our guest today is a little bit of trouble. Jerry Cage.
That's what I heard.
Yes, Lacey Starner. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Welcome back, sister.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
If you caught her last episode, she has a badass story about a haunted friend her son had.
Oh yes, Johnny Peach.
Yes, that's one of my favorite stories on this episode. Catch that episode, man. It's a great. Is that a true story? I can't remember now.
Well, it was true, but I put a spin on it and said that I also had an imaginary friend, and
that's what it was.
The lie.
That's what it was. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. But it's been like 100 episodes ago, so if you haven't caught it yet, you know that's on you. So
you're missing out because it.
Did Larry admit he had a imaginary friend?
He didn't.
Yeah. It's the one that tells me bad shit. You know what I mean? Thank God he's not very convincing. Because that's why
get off my shoulder.
Yeah. Get your hand off my shoulder. And my imaginary friend says, "That's not my hand."
That's not my hand.
But before we get into all this madness, I do want to say, hey, welcome to the Bullhucker podcast. If you're new to the podcast, what we do is we bring on a guest. He's Lacey Starner, the Lacey Starner. Lacey's going to tell us 3 stories about her life. Now, here's the kicker. Only 2 of these stories are true. One's either completely made up, it's borrowed, or it's just an embellished story. And at the end of the episode, Jerry Cage and I are going to try and guess which one it is. How's your record so far?
Shitty.
Yeah. It's tough. It is hard. This is hard.
It is tough.
The toughest part sometimes is you get so into the stories you forget to listen for bullshit.
Right.
You
get wrapped up in it.
You get wrapped up in the stories. Yeah. So you know what? You ready to start? You ready to
I'm
tell
ready.
some stories?
Yeah.
Lacey, let's get off. Let's get us on right.
Okay.
Those 2 things I said were totally inappropriate, and let's do this. Let's get off. Let's get it on. Let's get it on.
Somebody's going to be editing a lot.
Yes, I am. I do
Leave
anyway.
it there. It's funny.
Like if I ever die, there's a little what do they call them for the computer? It's a storage unit, like a big one to have all the episodes on, all the raw material on. So someone goes through that, they piece together all the shit that I've taken out of this. So like, this will be the monster podcast. This will be the oh shit, I shouldn't have said that podcast.
Maybe you should do that on like the end of the year, like a blooper reel.
Maybe, yeah, shit, dude. That'd be like a 7-hour episode. No one wants to watch that shit. So. Anyway, Jerry, you want to read them off?
You can edit that too.
Yeah.
You're getting real good at it.
But you know what? I'll edit my stuff out. You guys fuck up. You're on your own. That stuff goes in.
Okay. Well, we have 18 days to marriage. Hug B Fund.
Yes, that's correct.
Friday night.
Forensics.
You made fun of me for reading.
I know. It's that.
Well, Jerry, it's been a while, my man. Why don't you pick one out?
How about the Hug B Fund?
The Hug B Fund. Okay, this is a fun story. This story is going to take us way back to my high school career.
All right.
I'm not as old as you two, but I am still pretty old.
I like the fact you say career in high school.
Okay, so the Hug B Fund is something that myself and a bunch of buddies started our freshman year. So all of us are pretty ornery, and it's a group of both boys and girls, and we just have the best time ever. And we decide, I'm not going to tell you what Hug B stands for yet, but we decide we're going to start the Hug B Fund, and we're going to go around to all of the kids, all of the teachers, the staff members, the bus drivers, anybody, before school, after school, lunchtime, and ask if you would like to donate your spare change to the Hug B Fund. You would not believe the amount of money that people will just give you out of their pockets because, one, we're funny, and we just, we can make friends wherever we go, and so it's like everybody's always just drawn to us and just gives us, So anyway, we start this huge jar, this huge collection, and we just go up to you at lunch and say, hey, would you like to donate your spare change to the Hug B Fund? And chances are you'd empty your pocket and give us money. So we're going to save this Hugby Fund for our senior year because we want to have the best senior prank there ever was, because we want to go down in history at the Fort Morgan High School of having the best prank ever.
So what grade were you in when you started it?
We were freshmen when we started the Hugby Fund. So we're going to keep all this money till we get to be seniors, okay? Okay. So for our first senior prank, we decide on the last senior day, they do a big slideshow and they show pictures of all the seniors right out in the auditorium. So they open the stage, blah, blah. So we decide that we are going to take the principal's car and we're going to get the principal's car up on the stage. Now he parks behind the ag shop, and our FFA and ag teacher at the time, two of the coolest dudes ever, and they...
What kind of car is this?
You know, I don't know, but it was like this little gremlin car that reminded me a lot of that licorice dispenser car in Wayne's World. Do you remember that? Like this sporty gremlin hatchbacky.
The Mirthmobile.
Yeah.
Is that what it was in Wayne's World?
Man, that's been so long since I've seen
Wayne's
that.
World.
But it's a compact
Party
car.
time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So one of our friends' his brother is a cop. So we call up this brother and we need to borrow that like Jimmy rig thing, you know, that you unlock the doors with. I don't know what it's called.
Larry does. He's from Pueblo.
Yeah.
What's it called, Larry?
It's issued to you in the 5th grade.
Larry's got one in his back pocket. He's like,
Well, we get him to bring us down this thing. So we're trying to, because there's like this little balloon and you have to like.
It's a Jimmy bar, by the way.
Oh, so I was close, Jimmy Rig, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, we're trying to unlock this car because we're going to take it through the ag shop to get up on the stage so that when we start the senior slideshow and they open the curtains, that's exactly what you see. So we're pumping this window to open so that we bust the window. We bust the whole the whole driver's side window out of the car.
there went the Hugby Fund.
There went the Hugby Fund. It's so true. We don't know what we're going to do. We obviously have to go tell on ourselves because everyone knows that, you know, it's us trying to pull a senior prank. So we all do the walk of shame. We go tell on ourselves, and our principal is very angry. The ag teachers almost get fired over the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
He tells us that we better have that window replaced and working before graduation, or none of us are going to get our diplomas.
Wow.
And you know, that's so silly now, but when you're a senior in high school, like, that's a big deal.
Happened to me, but go ahead. Seriously.
So, anyway, we have to cash out the Hugby Fund. We're senior now, so we've been collecting for like 3.5 years, right? So we go take this big jar down to the bank because another one of our friends, his dad is a president of a bank. We take this big jar down to the bank, cash it out. Would you believe we had over $3,000 in that jar? Luckily, the window only cost like, I can't remember, I think it was under $300, but we got it fixed.
Yeah.
But now we still want to go down in history. So we're like, what senior prank can we do? What can we do? Well, we can't think of anything. We don't know what we're going to do. We all won our diplomas. So, Hugby. The Hugby Fund is for our senior party because we are going to have the most epic senior party ever. And Hugby stands for Help Us Get Beer. So little did all the teachers and staff members know that they were donating money to help us buy beer for our senior party. So
contributing to minors.
that's
Listen,
correct.
I gave money to a homeless guy the other day. I'm pretty sure I was contributing to an 8-ball. So
You probably were.
it's the same shit, you know.
Yeah. So
It's charity.
Yeah.
it's charity. It's for a good cause.
Right.
So we have this friend. We call him Uncle Steve. He works at Sonic, and he'll buy any alcohol. Any girl winks at him, he'll go get you whatever you want. So he goes and he buys us all this alcohol, and we have this huge party at these ponds down east of town. I don't want to give any locations.
East of Brush?
No, in Fort Morgan. Okay. So these ponds, if you walk far enough, actually link up with Riverside Park. Mm-hmm. So we're all drunk. We're trying to sit there and brainstorm and figure out what are we going to do for this senior prank so we can still go down in history. So all of our drunk asses go for a walk, and we end up down at Riverside. We didn't know they attached. So we decide we're going to steal all of the ducks and all of the geese. And we're going to get these ducks and these geese drunk, and we do. We get them as drunk as we can. We end up walking up to the high school. Well, at that time, the high school had a courtyard in the middle of it. So we get all of these geese and we get them inside that courtyard because tomorrow or whatever day they're going to come back, they all have school. So they're going to find all these drunk geese.
Right.
We tried to get a cow, and we put a cow inside the school, but none of us could find keys, so we couldn't pull that one off. Oh, wait, I should tell you that this night is the night of graduation, because we all decided we had to wait for our senior prank so that they couldn't threaten us with holding our diplomas again, okay?
Gotcha.
So this is graduation night. So we steal the geese, we get them drunk, we get them in the courtyard, and then we decide we have all of these beer caps. So we take a shovel and carve out this giant 2001, because that's the year we graduated, and we fill it full of all the beer caps. So when the kids come to school Monday morning, that's the first thing they see. Then we were terrible, took a gas can and went out to the practice football field and wrote class of 2001 in gasoline. So that summer it showed up when
Ron died.
Yeah. But anyway, we were in big trouble, and I'll tell you what, the cops reached out to every one of us, and we were told if one of those ducks or geese die, it is a $10,000 fine for every one of them that dies, and that we could be facing jail time too. But thank the Lord, none of them died, so we were all fine. And we all had our diplomas. So that was the Hugby Fund.
That's a lot to unpack.
That is a lot. That is a lot.
Well, if you'd like me to keep going, the party got busted. The cops came. We all hid in the trees because, we were all minors. Well, then one of our friends hid in a Jeep, and this was when, car alarms were first a thing. So she, tried to crawl out of the Jeep. Well, when she crawled out of the Jeep, the car alarm went off, and everybody thought that was like a sign that the cops are gone, it's safe to come out, and it was like Children of the Corn, and all of us come out from it. It was awful. 2 of us got MIPs that night. 3 of us actually got drugged down to the jailhouse, and parents had to come pick us up. But it wasn't me. I got away with it all. Anyway,
she's like, Riverside Park's that way. I'm not going to Maverick.
Nope. And that, my friends, is the Hugby Fund.
Could have run over to Dorns where the sand lot is.
That's a Fort Morgan kid right there. He's obviously around the course.
Yeah. But I don't know. Well, Dorns, they just have that gate there. So.
Yeah. Over there by the old stakeout?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
No, we ran to Riverside.
I did a similar thing. Me and 13 was all Euler and Brush. I didn't get my diploma the day of graduation.
Oh, no.
I got to walk with my class.
What'd you do?
What didn't we do? Similar to the same thing, Lacey. So we broke into the school. We zip tied every locker shut, so they had to take a razor and open every locker. You ever been to Brush High School?
Custodial staff was so mad at you.
But I would say who it is, but he was screaming. That's telling the story. So you've been in Brush High School before? With the old Brush High School? They also had a courtyard.
Oh.
So we took everything out of the library.
That's that little building right there on Colorado, right?
Yeah. The one that wins football games every year.
One with the windows all broken.
Yeah. So we took all the stuff out of the library, put it into the courtyard exactly how it was in the library. This took time. And just all kinds of shit until the cops showed up, and then we scattered.
You scattered?
Oh, yeah, man. I'm army crawling through Ace Hardware's fucking lot. Yeah. Anyway, we get away with it. We think. We end up back at Marion Ortiz's house. What's up, Marion? And we're going to start drinking and partying. And here comes a phone call that a couple guys got busted. Well, the one guy wouldn't say anything, but his mom called and said, you go turn yourself. He's not taking this fucking,
Yeah, rap by himself.
So it was a rough deal. We had to go in front of the whole school and apologize,
Oh, no.
All 20 people?
Yeah. The other 13 people. And my buddy Norm Schneider, this is a bad deal. We don't think we're going to walk. You know what I mean? I'm like the senior class president and all this shit. So, I got
way to represent.
Yeah. That was in the paper, and all the people were like, that got named a lot, that I was one of them. Anyway.
Your poor mom.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? She was pretty cool about it all. And I had an alibi. My grandfather was going to cover for me. I was playing cards with him because my grandpa was a rebel rouser. He was a good dude.
The real OG.
I think he was proud that I was getting in trouble. But it was crazy because we had to go in front of the school and apologize. And Norm Schneider's like, I did it, so? I'm like, you're making it worse.
Just say you're
not
sorry.
helping our
Norman, you're making it worse. But yeah, it was.
Can I get some duct tape or another one of those zip ties?
Yeah. I watched one of my classmates. He was a big jock and he's a tough guy. Run from the wrestling room, launch himself onto the gym floor. Leaped landed, rolled, and just took off. And I was like, son of a bitch. You know, say like, if my goal is to beat him from the cops, I might just lay down, put my hands. Like, you
Just
got
take
me.
me.
You got me 5-0.
You go, boy.
And it turns out the reason they got caught, I think I told this story on the podcast once, is if you go to Brush, if you go into the boys' locker room, there's stairs that go up to the wrestling room, or you go into the locker room. A couple of guys were going to run through the locker room. The cop comes out. It's one of the old school cops who's been there forever. Looks at one of them and says, we'll say his name is Jake Johnson. He stops. He runs up the stairs. He goes, Jake Johnson, stop. And the cop named him and recognized him, and he just kept running. So he went to Jake Johnson's house, and that's where it got ugly. Yeah, so
Small town.
Yeah, so they made
Small
us.
town.
They made us go and do community service at the school for the janitors, whatever they wanted us to do.
Boy, we
man.
got off easy, I guess.
Dude, we had. I had to go to the auto shop, man, and everything in that the ag shop, and everything there is like Thor's hammer heavy. You know what I mean? So they made us move everything from one side to the side, clean it. Move everything back, move everything to the other side, back here, clean it, then move it back. Dude.
Was it worth it?
No.
Oh,
No.
but look at the
Right
story
on.
you have now.
No.
It was totally
No,
worth it.
now I say it was worth it. Like halfway through that ag shop, I was like, this is bullshit. You know, why do you need a diploma? I said, you know what I'm saying? I got my slick ass job at Wendy's. I'm like almost $8 an hour. I don't need that diploma. Darling. Yeah. Grandma ain't gonna kick me out. I don't need shit.
I got a home. I got food.
So we had to do all that, and then go get our actual diploma. But they let us walk. So
Good.
yeah, it was
That's
wild.
funny.
We didn't have a hugby fun. We had a.
You needed a Hugby fun. You
Yeah.
could have hired a cleanup crew.
Yeah, we probably could have.
Yeah.
That's funny that you mentioned the Hugby Fund. My dad tells this story when he was a kid that he did the Heart Fund, and in Lincoln. This is in Lincoln, Nebraska, and talks about how him and his buddy went around to house knocking, getting donations for the Heart Fund, and they didn't have the little heart pin, or you're supposed to hand a pin out to them, you know, for donating. And they got in a lot of trouble for that.
Oh,
too.
no.
Yeah.
What'd they do with the money?
The cops caught them, so
Oh,
they had to
go give it back?
They had to empty it all out, and I think it just got turned in. The cops probably went and bought a bottle of whiskey. Or
Probably.
something for 'em, you know?
Box of donuts.
Right.
Just kidding.
Unfair stereotype. We do not believe that.
Right.
Just kidding.
Good thing we ain't got a Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah. Did you ever get kicked out of school? Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Innocent me?
Yeah, that's true. I don't
Yeah.
want to say that.
No, I don't think I got kicked out of school. I got called because my wife called in for me and said I wasn't going to be there, and she said she was my aunt. And my dad comes home one day and he's like, "Yeah, so I heard." And you know, my wife and I are sitting there. She was a girlfriend at the time. And she goes, "Yeah, I heard." And he looks over at her and he's like, "I heard your aunt called in for you today."
Busted.
And my wife just turned beet red. She's like looking at me like, you know, like,
I tell
this
Daddy
is
everything.
your fault.
Yeah.
Busted.
That's so. Your kids are gonna watch this episode.
I know.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
They
So-
already know all my shenanigans.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
So, what happens when they do a Hugby fun, or they break into the school? It's a much smaller school, though, out there.
It's very small, but I have good kids, and I just
Yeah.
don't think they're brave enough to be that ornery.
Really?
Yeah, and plus, what's that song, that big TikTok trim, like, before there was you, there was me? They can't get away with shit, because I've already done it all.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
You're on to
Yeah,
them.
I'm on to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Challenge
I hear that.
accepted. Challenge accepted.
I
kids.
hear that. You know, my
Yeah.
kids were the same way, and they heard about all my shit I did. And they're just like, my kid was like almost a 3-sport, he did sports, and I'm like, that's your job, You got to keep your grades up to stay in sports.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's what my kids did.
Yeah.
So I put them in sports so that they couldn't turn out like me.
Yeah.
Oh, don't get me wrong, my kids are ornery, but they're too scared.
Yeah.
They have a fear of their mom. I'm going to get a shirt. One of the students at school is going to make me a shirt, and it's going to say, "I don't have a chunkla, but I have a hey dude." I will beat their ass with a hey dude, and they know it.
I told you the other day.
I got you.
Yes!
I should probably cut that out, because that would be a shirt you could sell. I'd probably make some decent cash doing it.
Okay, don't say that. But I tell you what, they're afraid of their mama. They
You can get the shirt available on the bullhucker.com.
Right. I got a friend that could do them.
Yeah.
I bet that shirt would be pretty popular, man.
It would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should call up Hey Dude and get myself a...
Fuck them.
No.
Don't get them involved.
Don't give them involved, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they're sending you free Hey Dudes.
Yeah, don't use the logo or anything. Just write the
Or
word
get it
hey,
going
dude.
first and then call them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should.
Or misspelled dude, D-O-O-D-E or something. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Or
man.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someday you'll be putting your kids through college on that damn
There you
T-shirt.
go.
Well, what'd you think about that, Jerry?
I liked it.
Yeah.
A lot of content, a lot of material. Like you said, a lot to process.
It's a lot to process, and who knows, it could all be bullshit.
Well, there was a couple things that I was like, So we'll see how these other two go.
Okay.
We'll see how these other two roll.
I've known Lacey for a very long time. We've
Very
known each other,
long
yeah,
time.
probably since your high school days. Her dad worked for DF. He's worked for DF. He worked for
Oh,
DFA,
you work
yeah.
for DFA too?
I
Yeah, he's a
do.
driver out there. Donnie was also ornery, but very mellow ornery.
Well, that's where I get my ornery streak
Yeah,
from.
yeah,
is my
but
father.
good dude. But he retired. That's probably where you started after
Yeah.
37 years. So anyway, though, after I've known her very long, so that sounds like a very Lacey story. Yeah.
I almost felt like I was there.
You probably were there, you
Catching
pervert.
them ducks.
She would have had me over there. Go get some change.
Get the brown one.
Yeah.
Don't chase the white ducks. Get the brown one.
The Hugby fun.
Yeah, I meant the Hugby fun, not the duck.
You know what?
I thought she was talking about the brown person. No! Kill the brown guy, not the white one.
Remember
Yeah,
that?
he's dressed too scandalous.
Do you
Yeah.
remember that big brown goose? He was the meanest one at the park, and he would
No.
chase you and bite
No.
you. Yes.
And hiss?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All of them were white, but there was this one brown one, and he was mean.
Because you were feeding him booze, man. Just a mean drunk.
me
I
more.
feel you.
I want whiskey. I don't like beer.
Yeah.
And all joking aside, though, I bet nowadays that would be a felony. I bet it would.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
Well, I
25
know-
years ago.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
the
I
Lord.
heard because my uncle was going to go down there and poach one time.
Really?
And, yeah, he was going to cook him up.
Jesus.
Poach.
Well, I'm gonna go down there and get us some dinner down at the old
dinner.
park.
Get us milk.
I'm gonna shoot that big brown
Do
son
it
of
like
a
we
bitch.
used to do in Nebraska.
Was he working on his duck call? I've been working on my duck call. You
He
want to
didn't
hear
have
it?
to because they were all, like,
Yeah, what's your
Tame.
duck call? I have beer.
Ready?
I have beer.
Come here, duck. Come here, duck. I've been working on my duck call.
that'll work on Larry. Come here, duck.
Come here, duck.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start calling him. I'm gonna start saying that to him at work now.
I'm
I'm
gonna
like,
ignore
hey,
it.
come here, duck.
I can't wait.
Go ahead. I'll ignore it. I'll be like, what the fuck he's smoking?
I know you heard me. Come here, duck.
Sorry, Larry.
No, it's
you
all
probably
good.
deserve it.
All right. Well, I also like the Hugby fun. Like I said, it's that's a Lacey story.
That's-
but like you said, I'll have to see how far fetched one of the other ones is. We'll see.
Right.
The last time you were on here, you actually I don't remember the other stories you had about flashing people.
Flashing on
yeah,
I-80.
Yeah.
That's how I met my husband.
Yeah, showing them the goods. Yeah.
Was he a truck driver?
No.
He's like locking him up.
It was
Yeah.
a long story. You're going to have to go back and watch the episode.
I
Because if
will.
I remember correctly, your mom loved that story.
She did love the story.
She did. That was
Yeah.
her favorite one.
Yeah, she liked that, and when the other girls on here, their IBS story, because she felt that pain. She's like, "You tell her I get it. You tell her I get it." Like, I'll make that incredibly awkward fucking phone call, Mom, to tell her you get it. So,
Right.
all right, I got two left: 18 Days to Marriage and Friday Night Forensics. I'm gonna go. You know what? Always want to hear more, so we'll save it for last. Instead, let's hear 18 Days to Marriage.
Okay, well,
We were on the
as,
same page.
All right.
Same page, buddy.
Fuck
I
you,
like
duck.
it.
all right, well, the last time I was on this show, yeah, duck. The last time I was on this show, I told a story about how I met my husband, and it was a crazy, wild story. But I also said that I didn't know him; he was a stranger. He was like just some random guy I met. Well, 18 days later, we were engaged to be married, and that also is part of my story. So. We have to throw this wedding together real quick because I want to get married in a jiffy. It is October, so we're about to celebrate 19 years, just so you know. It was October.
Does he got money? No.
Hey, we've worked really hard. We worked really hard because I'll tell you what, we struggled when we first got married. But you know what? It builds character.
Yes.
And it just,
Yes.
it's been wonderful. But we're
30,
about,
33 years.
congratulations.
Congratulations, Justin. I tell you, in person, if you were man enough to come down to the podcast and do this, just so you know.
I tried to get him here.
I know.
I did. Well, anyway, my sister just got married in September. And so I don't even care. I just want to get married. We take a trip down to Vegas in November, and he tries to get me to get married there, and I won't do it because I want my big dress. My whole family's there because actually it was my little sister's 21st birthday. So we had gone down there, but that's a whole different story. So I had convinced him, because he was only 20 at the time. I was 23, and I had convinced him that you had to be 21 to get married in Vegas. Now, my brother-in-law, Rusty, said that he would pay for our whole wedding as long as we had agreed to let Elvis marry us, but I refused. So anyway, we get home. I want to pick out my princess dress. I don't care what the rest of the wedding is. We can use my sister's stuff. She had pink, I wanted purple. We pulled out the pink, put in the purple. It was great. So we hire this graphic designer to make our invitations. We go get our invitations made. We get home. We have like 3 misspelled words on our invitation. So I'm devastated because it's already December and I want to get married in April. So we've got to get moving.
Yeah.
So we have to get back up to her. We have to get everything reprinted. So she reprints everything. We get it ready to package. We package it out. Now, let me tell you, I had a hard time scheduling my wedding because one of my friends from high school was getting married on the same day. Well, she must have had her wedding going for a long time. So she already had the photographer I wanted. She already had the reception hall I wanted. She was already getting married at the church I wanted. Like, all the things that I wanted, she had already had. So it's like we ran into all these little brick walls all along the way. But again, I don't care. I just want to get married.
No hard feelings.
No hard feelings. No, none at all. I had told you at the last show that everybody was like, oh my gosh, you guys have to be pregnant. Oh my gosh, you guys are never going to last. You're only going to make it 6 months. You know, who meets this stranger on the street and gets engaged 18 days later? Craziest thing ever, right? But when you know, you know. And that's what I kept telling my dad, because my dad's like, you guys have only been together for 3 weeks. No, it's 18 days. Not even 3 weeks yet. Yeah. So anyway, where was I? So we have to reprint our invitations. We send them out. Well, I had decided we were having our reception at the Elks. The Elks calls and they're like, hey, sorry, we've double booked. They were having their grand poopah, like they were changing of the guards. I don't know what it is, but they have a ball that night or something. You can't do that to me. I've already paid my deposit. My invitations have already gone out. Like, we have 350 guests coming. Like, you can't do that to me. It was this huge hoopla. Well, I ended up winning, which is fine. The Elks was wonderful. They didn't realize that they had double booked. They had sent me a dozen roses saying they were sorry, that they gave me a discount. Like, they were wonderful. They made up for it. So anyway, moving on with the wedding stuff. We're getting ready. It is like 3 days before the wedding, and the person who's supposed to marry us ends up in the hospital. So now we have nobody to marry us. So I don't know what we're going to do. I want to get married at one church. They won't marry us because we live together, and that's a sin in their church. So then we have to find another church to get married in.
I think it's a sin in every church, just so you know.
No,
that's not how God gets
it's
down.
Like a Catholic.
You're right.
Yeah, it's Catholic. I know.
It's a Catholic thing.
Well, anyway, they won't marry us unless we agree to move apart, which financially that just wasn't feasible. Like, we just couldn't do that. Right. So it's like everything is against us. It doesn't matter where we turn, everything is going wrong. It's like God is saying, like, you two, like, you really need to be doing this. Maybe everybody's right. Maybe 18 days, like, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, it's the night before the wedding, and our organist dies. Rest in peace.
Shut up.
So now we have nobody to play the organ for us tomorrow. I don't know what we're gonna do. Who can have a wedding without music, right? I don't know.
How much organ are you
well, I need the Here Comes the Bride song, and I need like
all right.
I don't know.
Like
and this was DJ what year?
2006.
Yeah. So it wasn't like, you know, they could just plug in their iPod.
No, that wasn't a thing, right?
Well, I'm just assuming the organ's not going to play all night long. That's, you know what I mean?
Well, no, but you know, you need the... Yes! So we finally find an organist. Thank the Lord. It's the day of the wedding. I'm going to my mom's to get ready. Justin and his buddies are staying at the house to get ready. I don't know what happens, but the toilet breaks and the entire house floods. With clean water, thank the Lord, but nonetheless, the wedding is 3 hours away. My whole house is full of water. I'm telling you, all of the odds are stacked against us. If anything could go wrong, it was going wrong. The lady's making our cake, drops our cake on the way in, so now my cake is crooked. It's just a disaster. Everywhere you turn, it's a disaster. So you really start to question, like, maybe people are right. Maybe we aren't going to make it. Maybe we shouldn't get married. Like,
is that what's going through your mind?
Yes, absolutely.
Were you just like...
Because everything's going wrong, right? So finally, we make it to the church. I get lipstick on my dress. I'm devastated that my dress is dirty. It's just one thing after another. We do get married. It's the most beautiful ceremony. Justin cried when he saw me. That was, like, amazing. We have our big party. Justin gets drunker than a fucking skunk.
This is the Bullhucker right there. There's no way that could be true.
Listen, though.
We just found the bullshit, Jerry.
No, it's only... He tells me every time I tell this story that it gets earlier and earlier, but I'm telling you, it's 8:30 at night. He is so stupid drunk, he can't walk. He's passed out in the bathroom. One of our friends has to carry him out. And my mother loads him in her car and takes his drunk ass home while I stay at the reception and open the gifts and do my dances and, party the night away.
And this is the guy you wanted to marry.
He's amazing. He's so good to me. But I tell you what, I was really salty, and I'm still kind of salty. I tell him he owes me a do-over. But anyway, I get home, and it was like, I get in the driveway, and there's a shoe. And up on the deck is his tie, and then you open the door and there's his pants, and then there's his shirt, and I get all the way in the house and he is passed out halfway down the stairs, halfway on the landing, drunker than a skunk. His sister had stayed the night with us that night. She had to take me out of my wedding dress. She had to do all the things. I was so mad. I was so mad at him. Well, anyway, it's Easter Sunday, like 2 days later. And so on Easter Sunday, we always do this big thing at my mom and dad's house. And so we're out there and we're playing baseball. And Justin keeps telling me, oh, you can't play baseball with the big boys. Go sit down. You're going to get hurt. No, you're not going to tell me that I'm going to get hurt. So anyway, I go out there and I play ball, and my cousin hits a line drive right at my face. And I don't even have time to turn my glove to catch it, and I stop like this, shatters my entire left hand. So my dad comes flying around the corner because he had heard, like, the impact, and he's like, what's going on? I want to tell you, I didn't shed a single tear. I did not cry because when Justin said I couldn't play with the big boys, you bet your ass I'm going to run with those big boys. So anyway, I take my glove off and I have this huge, huge bubble in my hand, and I decide I'm not going to the hospital. It's okay. Well, the next morning, I go finally back to work after the honeymoon, and we actually didn't take a honeymoon. We just went up to, so he owes me a trip to Hawaii next year because he promised me 20 years we're going to have. Anyway, I go to work. My supervisor actually also is a volunteer EMT, and she's like, Lacey, you better get your butt, because it was green. She knew it was broke. So Justin's working somewhere out of town, so I go to the ER, and my dad comes with me. Well, I have a heart defect, and my heart beats are irregular anyway, but when I'm in pain, it really goes berserk. So I'm sitting there, and the doctor's going through all this stuff he can't figure out. I've told him 100 times, but he's not listening. So he says to me, Lacey, could you be pregnant? And I was like, no, absolutely not. Because I tell you, I promised everybody I was not pregnant. I'm not getting married because I'm pregnant. My dad shoots me a look like, girl, you better not make a liar out of me. My whole family was just here. I told everybody you're not pregnant. You're marrying for love. So anyway, that doctor takes me back, and I have to take a pregnancy test because that's the only reason he can think why my heart is going berserk. So I walk back to the room, and that is the longest 5 minutes of my life, sitting there with my dad, who's staring me down, who just like walked his little girl down the aisle with the promise that I was not pregnant. And here comes the doctor, and guess what?
You're pregnant.
I'm pregnant.
But you, in all fairness, you did not know that.
Well, no. But you know...
Okay, that was a real long well. Did you know that?
When you're young and you're dumb and, you don't count your days and you don't do your thing. But I'll tell you, Justin was drunk and I was not that night. So, I mean, you add it up. But anyway, my dad was angry at me, and my dad would not speak to me for probably a good 3 weeks.
Really?
I just think he was so mad because he felt like I lied to him this whole time,
yeah.
because I kept saying, no, I'm not pregnant. That's not why we're getting married. No, we're going to last forever. It's true love. When you know, you know.
Donnie a prude.
Oh, he was mad. He'd only ever been that mad at me one other time, and that's when I pierced my tongue because I wanted to go get my tongue pierced, and my sister told my dad why girls got their tongues pierced. That had nothing to do with it. I just thought it was really cool. But anyway, that's the only other time that my dad has ever given me the silent treatment for that long.
And if that's true about the tongue piercing, you would end up pregnant because that would have...
right, that would have eliminated that.
Right. So, yeah.
I just swallowed your grandkid. Shut up.
Yeah. Yeah.
A couple things with the story. You've never been a drunk dude, single dude, but that happens all the time, right? You get undressed as you're walking in the door. No?
He's like, nah.
Not that I remember.
Then
Right?
you're a weirdo, man.
Gosh, I was so mad at him.
I've woke up and I like to piss or whatever, and I'm like, those are my underwear? Stop, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like I just started melting out of my clothes. Yeah, no, that
That's
happens.
exactly what happened.
Because you know you want to get changed, but you're too drunk to do anything. Yeah, I don't miss those days. That's,
I think usually when I'm that drunk, if it's to that point, I don't even give a shit. I'm just like,
Yeah, but come on.
I'll go to sleep and fully dressed.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
It's your wedding night, and
Yeah, I
your
get it.
new mother-in-law has to take your ass home while your beautiful bride is back at the reception hall, opening your gifts, dancing
Lacey.
the night away.
I've DJ'd a ton of weddings. Man.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how many I've DJ'd, but dude,
Every time.
I've seen a drunken bride or groom like
I'm sure.
every time.
all the
I'm
time.
sure.
All the time. Yeah.
But you know, when you're a little girl, from the moment like your thoughts are thoughts, you're planning that wedding your whole life. Like
Sure.
12 years
Right.
old, you're already
Sure.
dreaming of, the day.
I could pride myself on the fact that if I look at a wedding and the wedding party, if I'm around you for 2 minutes, I'll know exactly what's going to happen. Like,
Well, here's the thing. None of my wedding party was 21 yet. And my dad had went and told the bar, they're all 21, don't
Yeah.
card them.
Yeah.
So he shouldn't even been drinking because he wasn't even
Listen,
21 yet.
if you
They
have
were all
a
trashed.
bride and her maid of honor is protective, or you know what I mean, just like really into the wedding,
Yeah.
probably means they're pretty tight.
Yeah.
Which means they're going to be shit-faced.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Right.
you could tell they're like sister tight. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Same way with guys, dude. You know what I mean? Like a best man that's like overly, like into it and
Yeah.
really gives a shit, man. I can tell you that dude and that groom are going to be,
Well, I'm pretty sure he was already sauced before the wedding.
yeah, good for him.
Hey, it worked. He still married me. Like I said, in October will be 19 years, so
There's a priest.
he's gonna make it up.
There's a
next
priest
year.
in Brush. He's not there anymore. He's at the Catholic Church. But I remember doing a few weddings, and he always told the party, like, if I smell booze on anybody before the wedding,
Oh yeah, they
Right.
said that same thing.
yeah, it's not happening.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were serious, man, 'cause they're not going to do this
Oh,
drunken
yeah.
wedding shit.
Oh
you know what I
sure,
mean?
yeah. Well, it's
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not
So-
a game. It's not
Well,
a
it's like
joke.
going to court, if you're under the influence or
Yeah,
whatever, you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's kind of inadmissible.
It's a big thing.
Dude, everybody should be a
No.
DJ wedding, a wedding DJ sometime in their life. You see some of the craziest
Do you still
shit.
DJ?
Not too much anymore.
yeah.
With our schedule at work, it makes it tough to do
Yeah.
because
Sure.
we get a weekend off, once every 5 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's
Yeah.
tough. For, like, people I know or whatever
Yeah.
that call, maybe, but
Listen, we have a prom coming up.
I'd rather
So
just...
mark your calendar.
Yeah, okay.
Weldon Valley prom.
That's kind of funny, though.
Listen,
'cause
did you hear that laugh? Like,
I know, he's
no,
like,
no.
Actually, I've done a few of your proms, actually. I did 2
Have
back in
you?
the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
At a homecoming out there. Good kids. All nice.
We're very lucky. We have amazing kids.
You
it
had,
is a really good school.
Mm-hmm.
you had a prom at the Clarion, and
Yeah.
and I was DJ for that because
Were you?
I was hitting the smoke machine and it set off the fire
Oh
alarm.
no.
Yeah, so they had to like clear out their prom, and I'm playing that song from the '70s, Fire, and the kids are laughing. I'm like, I'm gonna go to jail. You know?
Nah.
Yeah. What'd you think of that story, Jerry?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it. Like it kind of reminds me of how, like I said, my wife and I have been together. But so before, like my bachelor party, my buddies, I was home on leave from boot camp, and I was only home for 10 days, and I proposed, and I'm like, well, let's
Aw.
get married, and so my buddies show up in front of my house, throw me in the car, and take me off to Fort Collins, and we just get hammered. Well, I'm supposed to be getting married at 10 o'clock the next day.
Oh, no.
But we didn't even have like the big wedding. We went in front of the judge. She had a friend, I had a friend.
Well, if I could do it all over again, I would have saved all that money. And
Yeah,
done it
that's
that
all
way.
we did.
Yeah.
And
all
I don't
you
know, I
need.
probably shouldn't say this, but we forgot to pay the judge.
They're going to come get you.
So we still talk about it. We can still get an annulment, because
It wasn't official.
it wasn't officially.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, weddings are nuts, man. They're nuts. They can be fun, but
It was fun, but I tell you what, everything was stacked against us. If it could go
Yeah.
wrong,
That
it
was
went
crazy.
wrong.
yeah. I always enjoyed DJing the weddings because seeing the younger kids all shit faced, I just laugh at them because I'm the old man that wants to tell them like it's cool, man.
right.
Whatever you want.
Hey, can we get you to play that one song?
Yeah. Well, they want to hear something like Little John or something. I'm like, you got to wait till Grandma and Grandpa go home. Because, that's not from the windows to the walls to such or something
listen,
balls.
I DJ'd our homecoming one time, and now I really do live under a rock. I'm a pretty...
Yeah.
Anyway, the kids, this is because I'm cool, but I'm not that cool. Talked me into playing WAP. What's WAP? Okay, I'll play WAP. I turned that song on, and here comes our business manager, and I'm not listening. I'm not paying attention. I'm watching the kids dance. I don't have the DJ thing. I've got a little iPad, and I'm I've never been asked back to DJ again.
You learned that lesson.
I learned
in
real
high
quick
school
what
dances.
WAP stood for, because it's not wings and pizza.
Yeah. That song, to the sweaters, all y'all bitches crawl. That's a song they'd ever want played.
To the window.
To the wall.
So I think to myself, I'll smart the kids. I'll get the edited version.
No, it's not Ed.
They know the words.
know.
It's like Moni Moni when we were in high school.
Yeah, right,
You're still going
right.
to scream the words. They're not going to stop it. So I just told the principal in Ray, Colorado, I'm like, what do you want, man? It's
Right.
And for me, it's their dance, and the principal's like, yeah, but some of their parents don't approve. I'm like, I get it. All right. Well,
Yeah.
then you sit by the DJ booth and you shoot them down one by one because they don't want to hear that damn song.
Yeah.
I'm still getting paid, right?
Yeah, get out of here from the windows to the walls. So,
Yeah.
all right, I like that story too.
I do.
I like stories that are cherished memories. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The ones
And she's got a lot of detail on
she's
a lot of these. So.
at least you don't play. She comes.
No,
in,
yeah.
So, all right,
Yeah, you're walking around.
she's just a natural storyteller.
I am a
Might
storyteller.
be some full of shit there, but I like the story. All right. One last one. Friday Night Forensics.
Friday Night Forensics. We're going
He's been
back.
practicing that the whole time.
I don't want because I'm gonna make fun of Jerry
He's
tomorrow
like,
at work.
yeah, he's gonna be like,
hey, ask
I
Jerry
seen
to
him
read
over there
something.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You just tell him, come here, duck.
come here, duck.
Come here, duck.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to take you back to high school again, Friday Night Forensics. And we're going to go all the way back to my sophomore year. Now, if you remember correctly, probably because you two can't be that much older than me, that's before personal cell phone days. And that's also when the internet was just blossoming.
Wait. What year did you graduate?
Oh, one.
Okay, yeah, you're close then. Well, for me, you're
She thought you were older than me. What are you talking about?
I'm really old for my class, so I should have graduated a little early, but my mom held me back.
all right.
But anyway, this is before cell phones and when the internet's just blossoming.
Yeah.
And we just had this brand new state-of-the-art computer lab put into the high school. And so now we have to type all of our essays and yada yada. Well, they just get the internet in there, and my best friend's brother's girlfriend, you got that?
Sure.
My best friend's
Jay.
brother, his girlfriend, left her computer opened. And this was before, we have like, gosh, I can't even think what it's called now.
Dial-up?
Bark. It's a system now where if the kids say anything terrible or they cuss or threaten or anything, it'll flag it and send it to administration, so that you can be like, hey, what's going on? Why are we typing this? Why are we looking these things up? Well, that wasn't a thing. She had been in a chat room. And she had left this open on the computer lab, so my best friend and I printed the whole thing. Well, on this chat room, she was talking dirty to an older guy who was a senior. Now, we're sophomores. She's just a freshman, but she's talking dirty to this senior guy. Well, she's dating my best friend's brother. So we print this out and we decide we're going to go confront her. Now, I really have nothing to do with it, but my little friend, she thinks she's quite a badass, and she just, anyway. So we walk up to her at lunch, and I remember my friend saying to her, "What is this? And why are you cheating on my brother?" And all of the things, and calling her all these names. And she called her can I cuss?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Calls her a fat whore. And I'm just standing there. I've got nothing to do with it. And she says, "Fat whore? You want to talk about a fat whore? She's a fat whore." And points at me. I have nothing to do with it. Like, I literally am just along for the ride.
Yeah.
So my natural reaction was to punch her in the face.
Yes.
So I punch her in the face because you're not going to call me a fat whore. I had nothing to do with this. I'm just along for the ride.
Right.
So
Didn't see
anyway,
that coming.
here comes my boyfriend flying through the commons, and he grabs me and pulls me off of her, and the principal, the one later on that we're going to break his window out, he comes in and grabs her and pulls her apart. But that's not before hair's ripped out and earrings are
Yeah.
I got suspended for 3 days for that, just so you know. She got nothing. Let me tell you what my dad made me do when I got suspended. We had just taken out this dog run, and he had busted up all these big huge chunks of cement, and they were over there. He made me take that entire freaking pile of cement and move it from there to there. But that was my punishment. Anyway, I'm the leader of the shenanigans, but I'm not really a destructive person because I know my dad will kick my ass.
Yeah.
But I do love some shenanigans. So my friends decide we're going to go egg these people's vehicles. Now, I'm 16, but none of my other friends are because I'm old for my class, I just said.
Okay.
So I'm the only one with my driver's license. So, okay, I'll go with you. I'll be the getaway driver. I'm not throwing the eggs because my dad will get me, but I will definitely drive you. So we decide that we're going to go to this guy's house, that senior. Remember that senior that she was talking dirty to?
Yep.
So he lives kind of in a bad part of town. We're creeping up real slow. Now, mind you, I have this 1989 Chevy Celebrity that has a hole in the muffler, so you can hear me coming 6 miles away. It was the funnest car I ever owned in my life. Best car ever. So me, my best friend, and one other girl in the back seat. We're creeping down Nelson Road is where they lived. You know where Nelson Road is? Back there behind...
I don't.
Yeah, where the Legion sits.
Oh, okay. Oh,
back
yeah,
there
yeah,
behind
yeah.
like the baseball field and
Yep,
stuff in
yep,
Fort Morgan. So we're creeping down Nelson Road, and we're going real slow, and I turn my headlights off, and my 2 friends... Wait, first I have to tell you, we go buy like 3 dozen eggs, and we hide them in my trunk for like 2 weeks because we're going to make sure they're real ripe. I know, this is terrible. Like, as an adult now, I'm like, oh my gosh, you are so terrible. But as a kid, like,
Yeah.
it's just a bunch of fun, right?
Right.
Okay, we're creeping down the road, and my 2 girlfriends are leaning out the window just pelting these cars. Well, this guy is having a party or a get-together of some sort because there's like 8 or 9 trucks there that are other kids from school. So, like, not only do we get his truck, we're getting all the trucks.
Oh,
So anyway,
Lacey.
I know, I'm terrible. I told you I was terrible. So anyway, we decide that, we had our shenanigans, we had our fun. We're going to go back to the house. So we're back at the house, and we're just playing cards and bullshitting and hanging out, and all of a sudden, my best friend gets this huge pit in her stomach that they're going to call the cops, and the cops are going to come, and they're going to take our fingerprints off of those eggs, like forensic files here. They're going to find us, and we're going to be in big trouble. So I'm like, no, like... They can't get fingerprints off of eggs. And she's like, yes, they can. And I'm like, no, they can't. So we load up, again, us 3 girls plus the brother who has crutches because he had broken his leg wrestling. So we're slowly creeping up to this house. I'm staying in the car because I've got to be the getaway, right? And they're all piling out and sneaking around and crunching all of these eggshells that are all over the ground. They're crunching any eggshell they can find so that there's no fingerprint evidence.
Right.
Anyway, I'm sitting there and I'm looking out, and my best friend gets in the car and her brother gets in the car, but that third one hadn't gotten in the car yet. And here we are sitting, and all of a sudden, from out of nowhere, here comes all of those guys that own those trucks. And they've got baseball bats and they have crowbars and they are going to beat the fuck out of my car. I just know it. So I take off as fast as I fucking can.
That's called a coward, by the way. But continue.
I didn't want any part of this. I was just the getaway. And guess what? I'm getting the fuck away. Well, I left one of my friends behind. I didn't know that she wasn't in the back seat. So we have to go back. We have to go back and get her. So we turn around and go back and get her. And they're like holding her hostage, right? They won't let her go until we agree that we're going to go. Now, mind you, this is like February, and at this time, it's probably 1:30 in the morning, and they tell us they are not going to let her go until we agree to go down to the car wash and wash every single one of those vehicles on our dime. Well, what can you do? You got to watch them.
You break into the Hugby fund is what you do.
Well, this was a different group of friends, so I didn't have access to that Hugby fund with these friends.
All right.
So, but that would have been a good idea. Anyway, we get down to that car wash, one by Safeway, and we're like digging through my ashtray, because this is when cars still had ashtrays, right? So we're like digging through the ashtray looking for quarters, and I refused to get out of the fucking car. I did not throw those eggs. I did not break those eggs. I'm just the getaway. Y'all get out and you wash these trucks. So anyway, long story short, they did. They got out. We were there all night long after washing. And of course, they all have big, huge trucks. They don't just have like a little sports car, right?
Yeah, full
so,
size, yeah.
Yeah. So we were probably there till 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, washing vehicles in the dead of winter in February. So anyway, we all had to do a walk of shame Monday morning at school, because they had already told everybody. Thank the Lord that was the beginning of intertime, so there was like no cell phones to take pictures or Instagram or Facebook or making a TikTok.
Somebody's posting it.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was a bad night. That was a bad night.
You know how many times I thank God that cell phones didn't exist in my childhood?
Oh, seriously?
Oh my God.
Seriously.
Yeah. We were lucky when we got dial-up, because it would take too long for it to load. So.
And by the time you got it to load, your mom needed the phone, right? To call grandma?
Right.
So get off the internet. I need the phone.
Yeah. What was the name of that one, Jerry?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it.
That was a good story.
Yeah.
Those eggs must have been horrible. Oh,
we had one left, and this is a terrible story, but I told a story last time I was here about my cheerleading coach and how we... remember, she made her cry. We stole the coconut cream pies. We had one egg left that didn't get thrown, and so she was mad at us because we had ditched cheerleading to go to Greeley to pierce our belly buttons in the back seat of that car with ear guns, and we had come. Anyway, long story short, we took that egg and we put it underneath of the handle of her car and smashed it. So, yeah, they were real rotten.
Does she know that?
Yeah. We apologized.
Have you seen her since that podcast?
No.
Oh, really?
No.
I've seen her a few times. I forget to ask her. That's funny.
Yeah.
Luckily, she probably doesn't listen to this podcast, so you're safe.
She's amazing.
She is great.
She is the best person ever. We were just rotten teenagers.
And you're young, you're dumb. You know what I mean? You just
we were just rotten. Period. Rotten.
Yeah, you have a lot of enemies when you're younger. You know, or what you think to be enemies. You know what I mean? You don't.
Right.
Yeah, they'll become friends later on. But what do you think about that
like
one?
Brush and Morgan.
Yeah.
Oh, the rival.
It's not. It's never really been a rivalry though. It's. Was it during your time?
Oh yeah. We used to steal all the Brush girls just to piss off the guys.
Yeah.
And then
take them out shopping.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you did. Go shopping. That's what you called it back then.
And then we'd come here and we'd play football over at the old school, where your old high school, you run down. What was it? The junior high, I think it was. Back in the day. Yeah. We used to play football there on Sundays, and we'd alternate like weekends and stuff. But yeah, so there was always.
Well, see, I guess there's always a rivalry, but when I moved to Pueblo, they have the Bell game. It's the biggest high school rivalry this side of the Mississippi. It's been going on for over 100 years.
Wow.
Like my brothers probably wear the patches of the years they played, right? When I first moved there, everybody was dressed red and blue for Centennial and Central, and I didn't realize it was. Dude, that's a rivalry. Because those, at like the Bell game, so it's this big, like, almost Liberty Bell looking thing, and the winner gets to keep it in their lobby.
Oh, wow.
But, like, everybody shows up in Pueblo. It's like the thing to do. And afterwards, man, the fucking scrapping out in the parking lot, it's out of control. Every kid gets, like, 2 tickets for their parents. That's about it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because there's so many people go to that thing. It's a hot ticket in Pueblo. But That's why there's a rivalry here, but like in bigger cities and stuff, it's
Oh yeah.
it gets rough, dude.
Gets ugly.
All right, well, we better get heading towards it. It's been good, Lacey. You tell good stories. So
Thanks.
you got one in mind?
I did.
Okay. Well, don't say it yet. We still gotta.
I know.
We're gonna rock paper scissors to
I
see
know.
which one of us has to guess first. How do you rock paper scissors?
How do you rock, paper, scissors, shoot?
Yeah, shit.
Oh.
How do you do it? There's no other way.
Boom, boom, boom.
Oh.
We're
No.
gonna three
Yeah.
pump.
Yeah, we'll three pump.
Alrighty.
Let's screw it, Cheetah.
No. It's rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
This has been an ongoing fight.
We're three pumpers.
Yeah.
Paper, scissors. No, shoot.
No shooting here.
No shooting.
Ready? Although I beat you the first time, but I'll go ahead and go.
We go 2 out of 3.
All right, ready?
Let's keep it fair. Ready?
I think
He's trying to cheat.
he did that. He lost anyway.
He lost anyway. You were trying to cheat.
Oh, Lord, you're the worst cheater there ever was.
Wow. Okay.
Oh.
Jerry.
One more. Here we go. Wasn't it best 2 out of 3?
Are those guys done downstairs? No, they're like on the best of 300 out of 450. All right. We got 3 great stories. 18 Days to Marriage, Hugby Fun, and Friday Night Forensics. What are you thinking?
Initially I was really... There was a couple things on the Hugby Fund. That was questionable. But then on the Friday Night Forensic, I do believe that 18 Days to Marriage is a legitimate story.
True, sir.
Completely true. So I'm kind of torn between these two. I'll just stick with my initial one, and I'm going to go Hugby.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think it's just...
There, I did have it in mind, but I think I lost what it was.
All right.
It
What-
was the
what-
come here duck.
Come here, don't
The Hugby Fun? All right.
Yeah.
I think the Hugby Fun is true. I really leaned at first towards the 18 Days of Marriage because I'm almost thinking some of that is embellished in there. One of those horrible things did not happen. But I'm torn because Friday Night Forensics, the one thing about that I do not believe is that you wash cars in February in
Right.
Colorado at
Right.
1:30 in the morning. Your hands would freeze. You just
I told you I stayed in the car.
fine with but you're with human beings, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
So there that part. So it's a toss up between that.
And kids, young kids at home, coming home. Well, I guess we did that too. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess.
No, we were supposed to be staying the night with friends, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to just take a shot in the dark. It's one of those two, and those are the two things I think about both of them. But I'm going to go with 18 Days to Marriage because that's a lot of crazy shit that happened. I'm sure a lot of it happened, but I think one thing was added in.
One of them.
Yeah.
Maybe the cake.
Right.
Something. Okay.
Well,
I got it.
the one thing that sticks out is the fact that your house is full of water, but yet you didn't mention that when you went back home and saw Justin pass it on the stairs. So
It drowning. Water running out of toilet water coming out. Mom, that's funny. We had that happen to us in California. My parents came down, and we did have that. There was a Barbie doll arm stuck in our toilet, and I had my parents down, all my family, my mother-in-law, one of our friends from Denver, and everybody was like at Disneyland and this and that. And I came home early for something, and I mean literally, because we lived in a townhome, and water was coming down our stairs.
Oh my gosh.
Like a waterfall. And when they found it, they pulled the stool, and they're like, "It's a Barbie doll arm," and they're like, "Did your kids play with Barbie?" I'm like, "I have a son."
We don't play with Barbie.
Yeah, we don't play with. You can go to his room. There's not a single Barbie doll or a broken G.I. Joe doll, because he wasn't a G.I. Joe kid. I said, there's no way in hell that was ours. I said, that had to have been there before, but yeah. Oh, yeah. I've had that happen. So when you said that about the toilet, I'm like, oh, God.
Mom,
I was like,
tell me about my dad and how he died. He drowned on the stairs.
He drowned on our wedding day. Naked, halfway down the stairs.
half a turd hanging out.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah. I'm just saying. So, all right. I'm taking 18 days. You're taking a Hug Be Fun.
Hug Be Fun.
Before you flip that over, I do want to say thank you to the Brush Emporium. Thanks for giving us this place to have a podcast studio. How do you like it? This is your first time here.
Yeah, this is great. I love your little setup.
And
I'm hoping I get to sign that wall.
Absolutely, you're going to sign the wall when we're done. But thank you so much for the Brush Emporium and Pizza Emporium. They've done such a great job. They support this podcast. They're very cool about everything. And like I said, they gave us a spot down here to do this.
That's right. You do have to come down some sketchy stairs, but I promise it's
everybody
safe.
says that. Everybody brings that up. Yeah, it looks a little like third world rapish. I get it. But if you haven't been here, man, come check it out. What are you waiting for? It's at 210 Clayton Street. Pizza, pasta, wings, you name it. They have ice cream. Football season's upon us, man. You need pizza? Come on down here, man. It's great pizza. Have you eaten here yet?
I have not.
Shame on you.
Shame on me.
And don't forget to subscribe and like this podcast because it's one small click for you, one huge click for us.
He thought I was going to not let him do it. He thought I was going to. He's like, not today, fucker.
I'm like,
Not today.
I'm like, where's my cue?
That's right. Bottom right-hand corner, little red button. That's a subscribe. Hit that, man. So, all right.
You ready?
Having gotten our horn done, I'm doing 18 Days to Marriage. You're doing Hug Be Fun.
I'm doing Hug Be.
Let's check it out. What you got, Lacey?
All right.
Starner?
First, I'd like to say 18 days
The
till marriage, but I was not pregnant. That's the lie. You remember from the first podcast, I promised my daddy I wasn't pregnant,
Right.
and I really was not.
Right.
So all the horrible stuff
That
did
happened.
happen.
And
Oh,
I'll tell
really?
you what, it was actually the wax seal on the toilet that broke, and that's why everything was flooding. And so 3 of them stayed behind to clean up the mess because they knew I would be devastated when I came home, and the other 3 went and washed the car and got the car ready for the wedding.
Nice.
So, yes, but I was not pregnant. My promise held true.
All
Good
right.
for you. Good for you.
Oh, I got it right.
So-
Just not right.
You got it right.
The wrong reasons, yeah.
Yep.
So the Hug Be Fun's a true story.
It's a true story.
Wow.
I tell you what, I still love to tell that story.
yeah.
That's awesome. And Friday night, so you guys were washing cars. They were washing cars.
They were washing cars. I was not.
They probably were just spraying off the egg part,
Yeah,
though.
they were just spraying it. Yeah.
But still, that egg sits on there it doesn't take long to start.
No.
Start shit on that paint, man.
Well,
So-
thank the Lord it must have been fine because I'm telling you, had it not been, we would have paid the price.
Oh yeah.
We were messing with some.
Yeah, that's what kids don't get, man. You start just like
We would have got along in high school.
We'd have had fun, huh?
I think Lacey get along with everybody, so you're pretty easy going there, Lacey.
Thank you.
It was awesome to
Thank
have you back on,
Yes,
Lacey.
thanks for having me.
It's been far
nice
too
meeting
long.
you.
Thank you. It was nice to meet you too.
It's been far too long.
It's been too long.
Doing a lot of camping this summer.
Oh, we only went twice this year.
Oh, really?
So yeah, we're getting ready for a big race. My boys race dirt bikes, so
Oh, really?
we'll be packing up 3 weeks from now to go do the biggest race of the season in Sidney, Nebraska. So
Really?
Good luck to
good
them.
luck to those boys.
The youngest son,
Brogan,
Brogan. I want to call him Braden.
that's Leslie's boy.
Has he? Oh, yeah, Braden is.
Yeah.
See, Charlie. You know Charlie we work with.
Bear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's.
That's my brother-in-law's brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We love Charlie.
Yeah,
He's a
Charlie.
good guy.
He works with
Yeah.
us too. So.
Yeah.
But Brogan. Well, is he an influencer yet? Because I know he was really wanting to get into it for a
I
while.
tell you what, you should have Brogan on the show. Can you do minors on the show?
If
Because I'll tell
his
you
parents are okay with it, yeah.
he would be a hoot.
You really?
Yeah, he'd be a hoot. I bet I could talk him into it.
Ask him.
Yeah,
There
I'll
you
ask
go.
him.
Yeah.
There you go.
He's
I'll
funny.
make sure Jerry runs his P's and Q's. doesn't
No,
cuss at him.
actually,
Doesn't...
you guys will be like, oh my God, this kid. So,
Watch your mouth, you son of a bitch.
that's,
My virgin ear.
he's a naughty little thing.
Don't look at him, Jerry. He's the devil. Boy's got the devil in him, Jerry. Don't look at him.
He's funny.
Larry's like, shut up. I'm not going to say that.
Yeah. My
Get off
Brevin,
me.
he's too shy, but my Brogan, he would probably sit right here in this seat.
I seen you guys at Walmart. I was pretty shocked at the size of your oldest one.
Oh, I know. He's 6'3" with his boots on.
Yeah, dude.
Holy
he's,
cow.
He's
Yeah.
a big kid, man. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah.
He's a good boy.
But I'm getting
He
old and
loves
starting to
his mama.
shrink, I think. So, you know.
No,
Height-wise, he's big.
you said it.
At least he can call me a fat whore. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's a,
Punch him in the
Come here,
face.
duck.
That's right. That's right. Anyway, Lacey, thank you so much
Thank
for coming
you.
on.
It was great to be here.
Anyway, I'm Moose Lundstrom.
Jerry Cage.
We'll catch you next time. Peace.